This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talon Mix. It's the Smallville recap podcast for real cool guys and real cool guys only. If you are not a real cool guy, get the fuck out of here. I'm a real cool guy named Brian. Here, as always, my real cool guy friend Zach. Zach.
What about like real cool girls and gals and not gender non-conforming, like everything in between? Like, as long as you're real cool, or do you have to be real cool?
Yeah, I mean guys the non-gendered guys.
Awesome, great, cool. Oh yeah,
It's
totally.
just the real cools. You know what you don't need to be real cool to listen to that other Smallville podcast.
No,
but you got to be real cool to listen to this one.
Yeah, fuck right off.
You could argue this is a very exclusive club, and that's how I'll phrase our listenership.
You know what I've found is that people are really good at deciding whether they're real cool or not in like a real honest way.
I think so.
You know,
I think so.
Like,
and that's
they're real self-aware about whether they're cool or not. I think people are in general.
I actually, in general, find that kind of true, but there is a, what's the word for, is it Dunning-Kruger? Is that not knowing the level of your own, like, incompetence?
Oh, I've never heard that before, but that's great.
Michael Scott is kind of the peak version of that, right? There are occasionally people, I have spoken to people who, like, will like throw down the gauntlet and just be like, I am cool. It's like, no, you're not.
Right. I'm saying if you say it,
right.
That kind of cancels it out.
You gotta just kind of live it.
Because if you're really cool, you don't care if people think you're cool.
Exactly. That's the coolest shit you can possibly do.
Yes.
We're of course giving people advice before you leave. If you're not cool, if you're turning this podcast off because you're not a real cool guy, we're giving, of course, some tips here.
Yeah, we're stuff to work on.
Called us real cool guys. God damn it.
Just something to work on at home. A little homework.
Right. Zach, how's your week been? What have you been up to? Slash, what have you been watching? Really, that's what I was asking.
That's the real question, isn't it? Okay, I started off my week by watching Cocaine Bear.
Okay, right. You texted me that you, about 20 minutes in, were about to turn it off.
Yes, I ended up finishing it. Look, it's not terrible. It's just blah. And,
I didn't see it, but I am a little like, how bad could it be?
Yeah, it's not like notably bad.
Sure.
Just a lot of talent involved, and I didn't think it was super funny or cohesive, but there's some good stuff in there, especially Alden. Is it Alden Ehrenreich?
That's better than I think. That's closer than I can get.
He is fantastic, and I need him to be in more stuff.
I like him. We are, of course, the Solo defenders.
Yes,
Solo,
we are,
a Star Wars story.
The petition of 2 for Solo, the sequel.
Yes, we'll take it. We'll take it, baby.
He does have a upcoming thriller, like that got really buzzy at Sundance, but unfortunately, it's going right to Netflix. So, at most, that's like 48 hours of people talking about it, and then gone from the cultural zeitgeist forever.
Netflix really has ruined the way we watch anything, truly anything.
But especially movies that go right to Netflix disappear like that.
They may as well have not come out at all.
Right, yeah. Like a show, sometimes you get shows that have a little more impact on Netflix because they take longer to watch and people haven't gotten around to it or whatever. But with a movie, it's like...
Gone like tears in the rain.
Having said that, I would love for Netflix to pay me to write a movie. I would. Please, Netflix, please.
Yeah, of course.
Please, I'm right here.
No one's gonna see it anyway. Let us in there.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well pay us. No, they'll see it and then they'll forget about it.
Yeah, right.
If it's us, it might be so bad that they remember it.
There we go. Huh? Speaking of Netflix, real fast. Are you familiar? Were you aware of the Love Is Blind fiasco that happened?
I just saw the headline. It was supposed to be a live stream and it wasn't working.
Yes, that's pretty much it. Which, man, gotta say though, I think there were a lot more people talking about a pretty blah Love Is Blind reunion that otherwise would have not talked about it at all. Suddenly took over Twitter for a second.
You know what's funny to me though is that like Netflix, revolutionized the industry, brought streaming and pretty much invented streaming, and now they're like trying to stay on the cutting edge by doing live streams of their programming. That's called TV.
Yeah. Right.
Netflix is just doing cable now.
I am pro live content. I do sort of miss some level of.
I am too. I just don't like Netflix now offering what we used to do all the time. Right.
Right. That said, man, with a live fiasco like that, who is probably like really fucking like chilling in it right now is fucking Peacock, which nobody has, nobody cares about. But like, man, WrestleMania, just want to say, streamed flawlessly.
Oh, do they? Yeah, they must do live content, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, they have all the WWE stuff, and I think they have some sports. Yeah,
they have sports and wrestling.
Yeah. What else did you watch?
I watched The Witch. We texted briefly about it. I had seen Robert Eggers' other two movies, but I hadn't seen The Witch. So I finally watched it. I liked it. I'm a little bit more lukewarm on it than I think a lot of people. But it was sufficiently disturbing and creepy.
It's a pretty creepy movie. I don't remember what I said about it when we texted.
You said you liked it, but that it was you had it as the least of his three.
Yeah, I think by the time I saw it, it had been pretty hyped. And so when I liked it, that felt disappointing. Whereas had I come into it completely cold, that might have been completely different, Right.
I think because they came up around the same time and they both kind of helped invent elevated horror. I'm doing quote marks. That Ari Aster and Robert Eggers often got lumped together.
Sure.
And so maybe in my mind, I was using that as a benchmark. And I just think there's a lot more going on in the Ari Aster movies so far than the Robert Eggers.
I'd agree with that. But I'd agree with that. I like Eggers a lot, but I agree with that.
It could also be just over my head. That's totally possible.
Yeah, dummy. I am smart because I like.
But having said that, I think I said this to you over text. I would watch any of those movies over a Marvel movie anytime. Give me the weird, messed up. Unless I'm with kids, then I probably wouldn't watch one of those movies.
That's probably not a good idea. It hasn't stopped me so far in my fatherhood, but my child is barely sentient. Probably not even sentient yet. Not making any sort of memories.
You have already watched the most fucked up shit in front of her. I know that for a fact.
So yes, I have. Today we watched See No Evil 2, but I'll get into that later.
Didn't you write a review that you didn't like See No Evil 1? Like it
terrible.
Was
First
garbage?
One was terrible. Garbo, pure Garbo. 2, not bad.
Let me fire up See No Evil 2. Haven't seen Dazed and Confused yet, but let's fire up See No Evil 2.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. They gotta say though, See No Evil 2, not bad.
Better than See No Evil 1.
Significantly. I'd actually say See No Evil 2 was not quite good, but it wasn't bad.
It's the T2 of terrible horror movies.
It's that level of a leap, yes. It's the same level of increasing quality.
Better. Yeah, the same level of better.
But thing is, T2 started much higher up. So.
Yeah, for sure, because Terminator's great. Yeah.
Yes. Ooh, T2 though.
Oh God, I could talk about T2. I mean that's like a Mission Impossible situation, so we got to be careful. Moneyball. I watched Moneyball, which I had seen in theaters when it came out, but I haven't seen since. And I liked it in theaters, but I just never got around to watching it again. Held up beautifully.
Great movie.
Just
Great
one of those.
movie.
When people say, "Oh, they don't make them like they used to," they're talking about Moneyball.
Yes. God, Moneyball.
Although, oddly enough, the movie Air, which recently is very recent, it was very Moneyball-esque in its quality. It was one of those they don't make them like they used to movies, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was as good as Moneyball, but it was close. It was on that level.
Nice. Man, Moneyball is in the... I can kind of watch that at any time. If I ever catch that on, it's like, fuck yeah, Moneyball's on.
Oh, for sure. And
then it's Moneyball time.
It's interesting because it's got that Sorkin dialogue, but it's not directed like a lot of Sorkin stuff because it's not like rapid fire. It really takes its time with the dialogue.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And
I agree. Normally, and like, don't get me wrong, I like Sorkin.
Yeah, me too.
But it is one of those like eye rolly things, even though I am both rolling my eyes even as it's hitting every pleasure center in my brain. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure. Yeah.
Just like, oh, I'm a dumb idiot. Stimulate me, baby. But you're right. There is something to it that I don't know, elevates it, I think, in Moneyball.
Oh, and the Brad Pitt performance is phenomenal. I mean,
phenomenal.
I like him. I always like Brad Pitt, but he's one of those guys. He's kind of like Harrison Ford, where usually he plays a variation on a type. And here, I really thought he disappeared into that character in a way that he doesn't normally. And I don't know. Bravo, gentlemen. I know it's 12 years ago, but just so you know,
yeah. I think Brad Pitt's performances can be, now granted, I think he has a natural sort of charisma that translates to a good performance, but Brad Pitt acting, why? The camera can see that I'm Brad Pitt.
Yeah, exactly. If you have that much charisma, why are you acting?
Yeah, right. You don't got it. That's what comes with getting to look like Brad Pitt, is you also don't have to like do your job too hard.
That said, a lot of his kind of like weird supporting roles are his best. Like, have you seen 12 Monkeys?
No, I love 12 Monkeys.
He's great in 12 Monkeys.
He's great.
Fantastic in 12 Monkeys. And then the last thing I saw, I went to theaters and watched this movie called Showing Up.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's an indie movie, Kelly Reichardt movie with Michelle Williams. It was filmed in Portland.
Hell yeah.
Very indie movie, very little plot. Pleasant enough.
Nice.
Not necessarily my thing, but I know there's people who go apeshit for her movies, and you'll love it. If you like her movies, you'll love it.
I'm not sure I'm familiar, but
it's cool. Wait, now I'm questioning, are you a real cool guy? If you don't know?
Don't like. Can we talk about this off fucking mic? I don't want to be put on fucking blast here.
Okay,
dude.
Sorry. Yeah, you can't listen to your own podcast until we figure this out.
No. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. I watched a lot of Tubi, man. It was a big Tubi week for you, boy. And a friend from high school messaged me, just kind of out of nowhere, and like we're friendly enough. He lives in the city. We got drinks recently turned into we got drinks a couple of years ago fast. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing. But he met, we occasionally comment on each other's stuff on Letterboxd. That's about the extent of it. But he reached out to me and was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, guess where I work now? And I'm like, where do you work now? He's like, fucking Tubi. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Yes. Thank you for your work, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
And I believe it is something in like content acquisition. So it's just like, oh, salute. Like
that's great.
So now just like one step removed to getting Tubi to sponsor this show, because I will talk about how great Tubi is every episode.
Yes. If they could be our first sponsor.
Even though the show that we recap is not on Tubi.
Well, they should get on that.
They should get Smallville.
To your friend, I just want to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep doing what you've been doing, Tubi. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Get
Exactly.
the same type of stuff that you've been getting.
If Tubi gets a little better, I don't think it's as good. I think it's just.
Well, I don't go.
You know
to
what
Tubi
I mean?
For well, I go to Tubi for the kind of movies you watch and I watch on there, but also unless it was made before like 1960, then it's like they have really quality old movies on there because no one gives a
Yes.
shit. So that's a different thing. But I also go there for that.
Yes. And the commercials, they don't bother me. We talked about that last time. It's just kind of part of it.
I watched. I watched. What's it called? Columbo.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
I watched like the second and third episode. I'd never seen any of them, but Spielberg had directed it, so I watched it.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean it's an episode of TV. It just looks a little better because it's Spielberg. And I was like, yes, Tubi has it. Tubi has Columbo.
I also had not seen Columbo. I was a fan of Poker Face though, which is very Columbo inspired.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know they were effectively. It was on for like 20 years, but they were effectively TV movies. They only made like a couple a year. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah. Because I was looking at the seasons. I was like 20 seasons.
Right. That's a lot of Columbo.
It's like 84 episodes.
Right.
So,
right. And they're all like feature length.
Yeah. They're little movies.
And so he just played that. He would just come back, do a couple every year, and that's great. That's like more of that.
I love that.
Definitely. Monk is one of my wife's favorite shows of all time, and they're coming back and they're just doing a direct to streaming movie, and that's exactly what Monk should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't need
if that. Right.
I don't need the 8-episode run.
Right. Nope. Just do a little straight to streaming movie, and then hey, if it's good, it's Monk. You can just do another one.
Exactly. I like the idea of straight to streaming movies in like a series. I like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
That.
Yeah. So what I actually watched this week, so what I go to Tubi for is to go, I haven't seen 2002's The Scorpion King since theaters. And then within minutes, I'm watching The Scorpion King, a movie that I will say, in the exact context in which I watched it, I kind of liked it. Scorpion King 2, however, woof, Garbo time. I was shit-faced watching that one, and I still was like, this is the worst.
Direct to video, right?
What's direct to video?
Was that Couture, or who's in that one?
Yes. That one was awful. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting to like have a little more fun with it. It's one of those movies where you just feel like immediately offset. Everyone on camera, everyone off camera is like, no one's watching this. We just need a video file to go on the DVD. They'll slap the picture up on the red box.
Exactly. Yeah. I was at a basketball game once, a Blazers game, and they were like, Row, blah, 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 wins a Blu-ray, brand new Blu-ray of the movie Scorpion King 3.
Oh, boy.
I was like, this is a prize? I'm supposed to get psyched about Scorpion King 3?
Yes. They made 5 of those, so 4 direct-to-DVD sequels. The most recent one is 2018.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
It's like Tremors.
Exactly. There you go.
They must make money. I mean, because they cost $5 to make or whatever, probably.
I assume at this point, by 2018, right, they cost $5 to make, and I assume they're just kind of, you probably sell them as part of a package deal to something like Tubi, right?
Right. That makes sense.
And it just needs to be, and it's like, so we've got all these Scorpion King titles, all of these titles, we're selling you this many hours of content licensing rights. It's all
Tubi, the official home of the Scorpion King library, excluding Scorpion King 1.
Right. The only, real Hollywood film. Let's see. So I have 2 things I actually want to talk about, aside, of course, from See No Evil and See No Evil 2. See No Evil, bad. See No Evil 2, not bad. I watched Star Crash. Are you familiar with this at all? Were you familiar with it?
Refresh my memory.
It is an Italian film from 1978.
Oh.
And this was basically just the most shameless knockoff of Star Wars. Star Wars is 77. Italy's like, we can do this, and they could not. I believe, like, if you pull up lists of the worst movies ever made, Star Crash may come up. MST3K has an episode on it.
That's probably fun though.
It's so, I gotta say, I really freaking enjoyed it. I actually genuinely had I love the aesthetic of dopey 70s sci-fi, and this has so much of it. It's an early David Hasselhoff role, which is weird.
Great.
Christopher Plummer is in it briefly as sort of maybe the closest thing to like an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. He just wanted to go to Rome and was like, sure, I'll make a little money while I'm in Rome.
Exactly. Yeah, why not?
He says the gobbledygook. It's filled with miniatures and dopey stop motion animation. All of the space travel stuff, the stars are like multicolored, which gives it this cool kind of psychedelic disco-y fucking vibe. I mean, it was a terrible nonsense movie. Make no mistake. I had a blast with it.
What more can you ask for?
The main character also, this was funny. I had no idea this was the case. In high school, I really enjoyed a band called Stella Star. And now I'm now realizing that band must have been named after the main character of this movie, who is named Stella Star.
If not, it's a weird coincidence.
It's truly right. So Star Crash, I mean, don't get me wrong. I haven't seen the MST3K episode. I'm sure that's a more pleasant way to watch this movie. Because it don't make no fucking sense. And it's really dopey. But if you like that kind of thing, I had a great time with it. The other thing I want to talk about is not a movie. It's Gasp, a TV show. Been watching Detroiters. This is Comedy Central. It was from like 2017 to 2018. If you've seen I Think You Should Leave, this is Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson's Comedy Central show. Didn't last very long. They only made like 20 episodes. But if you are a fan of I Think You Should Leave, and that, kind of style of humor, I think Detroiters is an absolute must watch. It takes that sense of humor and applies it to actually like really good, really sweet sitcom storytelling. I don't know what took me so long. I'm a big I Think You Should Leave fan. I probably should have gotten to this years ago. But it's one of those shows that like I watched the pilot and I understood quickly. It's one of those things you watch and you understand why it got canceled because like, oh, this was too good for Comedy Central.
Right. Yeah.
This is too well done. Detroiters, man, if you're into that kind, and I understand I Think You Should Leave isn't for everybody. I think some people find that level of, what's the word I'm looking for? Wackiness? I don't know. A little hard to parse, I think. When is it being funny? When is it really just being, it really is just that stupid. I think can be tough for some people to parse, but I love it, and I love Detroiters. I've never
seen I Think You Should Leave.
It's a sketch comedy show.
Oh, okay.
It's Tim Robinson was briefly on SNL, but it was kind of one of those guys where like everyone loved him, everyone thought he was funny. So like their fingerprints are all sort of SNL executive producing all over these things, but like his style of comedy is kind of similar to the before. Too good for SNL. It's too actually funny. I say this as someone who's watched SNL every week for
your entire lifetime.
Tim Robinson is actually funny. I think you should leave. It's a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are 11-minute episodes. You can watch a whole season in an hour.
Sweet.
But season 3 is coming soon. Very excited for that. recommend it. I think you should leave.
Great.
And Detroiters. I guess that's everything for me.
Well, should we talk about a really good CW show from
And
the early 2000s?
really good show. I don't know about the episode.
It was a middling Smallville episode. It's definitely like a middle of the year.
Yep. All right, let's get into it. This week, we watched Lucy, the 16th episode in the 4th season of Smallville and the 82nd episode overall. It aired March 2nd, 2005. I know this, of course, because I'm reading directly from the Smallville wiki, smallville.fandom.com. March 2nd, 2005. We're moving, baby. We're moving.
We're probably going to link up at some point, like pretty close.
Yeah.
It'll catch up to us, right? No, it won't, because we do one a week and they do one a week, right? But they take jumps. They take leaps.
Right. Right.
What do we do if one day we broadcast on the same day that they broadcast? That's
fuck.
Some kind of occasion.
Yeah, we'll have to hey, the Discord is a great place to tell us ideas for things
like
you
an
think we should do.
That's like an eclipse or something.
That means we have to go to SnyderCon.
No, I regret this bit. I mean, how funny would that be, though, if you and I went to SnyderCon?
We have to go to SnyderCon, dude. We have to go to SnyderCon. SnyderCon's real, by the way. And to be clear, I think they rent out a screening room.
Yeah, you know how much bro is going to be in that screening room?
I don't think it's going to be like our traditional idea of bro. I think it's like nerd bro, which is different.
Which is almost worse.
I would say definitely worse. Mix that with also unclear kind of on how deodorant works. And mad at all women for not sleeping with them.
Yes, for sure. Especially if they have the gall to be casted in a movie.
Yes. How dare they?
In a Star War.
Star Crash, on the other hand.
Yeah.
Lady main character, woke bullshit. All the way back in 1978.
Don't try to cram it down my throat.
By being there at all.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. Just don't try to cram it down my throat. I'm not, I don't care, but cram it down your throat by being in the movie.
It's just, I don't care. Just don't fucking make it, just don't show it to me in any capacity or I will lose my fucking mind.
Oh, like
sorry.
We're like 10 years too late
we're
on
in the
this,
hole.
But the epitome of that was like the Black Stormtrooper. Like people were upset that that's just like, sometimes people are racist and then they don't realize it and they disguise it. But like, that's just outright. Like
you're just out
you just
in the open. Said a racist thing. You have a racist thought.
Like they're a clone trooper. It's like, no. First of all, they were back in the prequels, but they established even if you're a dork in the universe, they established that the clone troopers died out, and now they're using recruits or whatever. So you're racist.
A young girl is skiing down a mountain in Switzerland. She is expertly eluding her male companions. Companions is a strange word to use, considering they are chasing her. And this is a very long skiing sequence.
It is, and I think I had a question mark. A question I wrote down. Is this ski sequence totally nonsensical? Question mark.
It don't make no sense. I was thinking, like, did Triple X come out recently? That fucking Vin Diesel movie, and even then, 2005. No, we're a couple of years away from it.
It's supposed to be like a James Bondy type. They're in this.
That's the vibe I got.
Whatever, except for it's filmed in that mountain above Vancouver,
Right?
And it's clearly like a public ski slope because you see all these people in the background and like kids and stuff in the background. So it just loses like the James Bond luster a little bit when there's a bunch of like other skiers just like enjoying their day. Also, story logic wise, I don't understand what's happening.
No.
She steps out of this building on the top of the Alps. And
dressed like the Pink Power Ranger, should also say.
She smiles. She's taking her time. She puts her skis on, and then she skis down a flight of stairs and then down the mountain. First of all, she could have walked down the stairs and then put the skis on. Like, no one was chasing her at that point.
Nope.
So she does that, and then the people appear out of nowhere and chase her. So was she running from them already? If not, where did they come from? Why are they chasing her up on the mountain? What was she doing on the mountain?
Unclear. All unclear.
It's really an excuse to show some people who are good at skiing do cool ski tricks.
Why, though? Why?
Because they're like, we're in Vancouver. What locations do we have nearby?
I guess so. Did they just want to go skiing? or is it one of those like, man, my buddy is a stunt skier. Look, really looking for work. Is there anything you can do to like fit in a skiing sequence, please? Yeah.
No, I think it's one of those that's on the page is like, oh, it's a cool James Bond sequence.
Right.
And then on the screen, it's like, oh, no, that's not what this is.
Nope. At 3 a.m. in Smallville, Lois Lane, in Clark's bed, it says in parentheses, is awakened by her ringing cellular phone. You could have just said her phone.
Well, there's a chance that this was written right when the episode came out, and then you did have to differentiate between phone and cell phone. You are
potentially not wrong. She learns that her little sister Lucy is coming to visit her in 2 days while on break at boarding school.
Yeah. So Lucy calls her. Lucy escapes this guy on the Alps, goes over a jump, lands, comes to a stop, and pulls her cell phone out and calls Lois to tell her that she's coming. Like, the guy's not that far back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's people on Smallville really don't make sure they're really truly clear before doing things. That's
what a weird moment, because she's not like calling like, "Hey, I'm on my way. Like, I'm coming right now." It's like, "I'll be there in 2 days." Okay, you could have called an hour later.
You could have called tomorrow, and that was still an okay amount of warning, I think.
Maybe that's the only good spot for reception on the Alps.
That's famously how Switzerland works.
Yeah.
So after attempting to cook breakfast, it says here in parentheses, soggy pancakes and burned bacon, Lois reluctantly asks the Kents if Lucy can stay for a few days just as Lucy arrives. I forgot about this episode, and I would have forgotten about Lucy Lane, except she played a major role as an antagonist on Superman and Lois recently, when she joined an alien doomsday cult. Man, so I knew Lucy was up to no good.
The Smallville cast really mingles with the other CW shows these days.
Yeah.
Like Erica Durance popped up in Supergirl as her sister.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
She took over for a different actress who was playing the role, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it. Interesting. That's funny.
Yeah.
Good for Erica Durance.
Yeah. You know what I've also noticed? People who are in those shows also do a lot of animated DC voice work.
I've also noticed that. And those animated DC movies are fucking the pits, dude. They're so fucking dull. If anything should be vibrant and fun, it should probably be an animated superhero thing. And oh my God, you can hear the boredom in any of their voices of just, I'm in my fucking PJs. I'm going to hammer this shit out.
Yeah,
there are
I'll
people
do it
who like
5 different
voice
ways.
act, you know?
Yeah, I'll do it 5 different ways, and then
Yeah,
you can pick one of those.
Look, I'm out of here at 6. Do you want to get through all these lines or not? Okay, so Lana and Jason return from a jog when they realize her Talon apartment has been broken into. So they're like playfully going up the stairs like, oh, I almost beat you. Remember, hey, last week when you were in fucking China and got possessed by an evil witch again?
Yeah.
And now you're just playfully running up the stairs. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still...
There's no recovery time for her body after that.
No!
She was also electrocuted in a torture chair.
Jesus Christ.
Just
So,
the jet lag alone would set me back a week.
Sorry, I'm a little fucked up. I was just in China.
Yeah.
Forget even the fucking supernatural bits and the electricity.
Yeah.
So they realize that her Talon apartment has been broken into. Of course, now with all of this said, the China trip, the stones, the electricity, of course the stone. Of course they're coming for the stone. But no, she goes to like look for her fucking phone first. Hope they didn't get my phone.
Yeah.
No, they went for what the fuck is the matter with you?
Also, now I won't. This is obviously explained by the end of it, but like, how does one break into the apartment above the Talon?
Right.
Like that one room, and steal any major amount of stuff. Like if they're getting the stone, that makes sense. But if they were like going to raid the place, you can't leave with a lot of booty. You're like walking through the the Talon. I guess if it's nighttime.
Right.
I don't know.
Also, so here's the thing: the apartment is a mess, right? Because they've been raided. Just everything's just like a guy took his arm across her bookshelf and just pulled everything off in one swift motion. Shit's everywhere. But what they went for was the stone, which was hidden under a brick in the fireplace in a box. I know this because apparently what they did was they took the brick out of the fireplace, reached in, took a box out, opened it, took the stone, put the lid back on the box, put the box back in the hole, put the brick back where it was, left her the rest of her apartment in fucking shambles.
Yeah, they were like, this will be better for dramatic effect.
Yes.
This will really fuck with them if we put this part back. They'll be like, oh, well, obviously they didn't take. Oh man.
Ah, damn it.
Oh shit.
Lana convinces Jason to forget about the stone, saying that whoever took it can keep it. She tells him that she's tired of their relationship revolving around the stones, and Jason agrees to drop the subject. I'm tired. She does say literally, I'm tired of our relationship being about chasing relics and not about us. Lana? You were just in China last week where you were possessed by an ancient evil witch that apparently continues to live inside of you. Hey, Lana? Hey, Lana, sorry if there hasn't been a lot of time to, like, connect or whatever in between your fucking goofy, flirtatious runs. Hey, Lana.
And what are you talking about, Lana? We just got back from a goofy, flirtatious run. Like, what more do you want?
So, however, later... Also, just someone came into my home to take this stone. I don't want to talk about it, Jason.
Your entire apartment is a...
The romance is dead in that relationship, Jason.
Yeah, there's some fishy shit going on, clearly.
Okay, so however, later, Jason goes to the Luthor mansion and accuses Lionel Luthor of stealing the stone. Jason is in the process of roughhousing Lionel when Lana walks into the room.
So there's a great line here that Jason says when he's threatening Lionel. He says, "This isn't some bad dream that you can just blink away," which I think is an actual quote from the writer's room when they're talking about this storyline. They're trying to break the story, and someone's like, "This isn't some bad dream that you can just blink away.
These are decisions we made.
We started this fucking story, and we have to figure out where it goes." God, how good is John Glover, and how fucking good does he look in this episode?
So good, man. The hair, it's like, as much as I miss the fucking beautiful mane, the hair, it looks great. He looks great.
It's coming back in, so it's just like, it's a beautiful state it's in. He comes in, the storyline is on fucking life support, and he comes in, and it's like, okay, I can vibe with this. Yeah. Give me more.
Much to Clark's annoyance, there are now 2 Lane girls to drive him crazy. However, he seems to get along with Lucy since she flirts with. They're vibing. They're vibing.
Serious vibes.
She flirts with him constantly. Lois hands Lucy off to Chloe to show her around because she's gotten a job at the Talon. There's a fun beat here. Of Lois being bad at her job at the coffee house. After Lucy exits, Clark notices that Lois seems grumpier than usual and asks why she's not happy to see her sister. Lois explains that their relationship is strained after her mother died. She became a mother figure for Lucy and never got to have a real childhood. Eric Endurance is doing her work here. She did good.
Sure. Yep.
It's a good bit.
I actually think the girl playing Lucy is good too. Really good too.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's a moment there. They're in the coffee house, that's Friends. They're in the Talon. Chandler walks up. They're in the Talon. Just a dream come true.
Ooh, give it to me.
They're in the Talon, and it's Lex and Clark, and then Lex meets Lucy, and she brings up, she plays violin or whatever, and he gets really intrigued, and there's like a flirtatious moment between him and Lucy, right. And I wrote down in all caps, "Back off, Lex." Back off. He's like, "Well, I'd love you to come over, for you to come over and play. I'll play piano and you play violin." And you are an adult.
You are an adult man.
Billionaire
Get a job.
Man. Leave these teenagers alone.
Get some adult friends. My wife loved. She watched half the episode. On the couch, but just Lex going like, "Come by the mansion sometime." Like, that's not come by my house. Just come by the mansion.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. Swing by the mansion. I live in a mansion.
I live in a mansion, by the way.
The mansion in Smallville is mine.
Just the one. That's me. Okay. Sorry, just finding where we are. Clark goes to the Talon with Lois. When Lucy and Chloe arrive, he introduces Lucy to Lex, but she already knows who he is. Chloe mentions that Lucy is a skilled violinist, and Lex invites her to the Luthor mansion to hear him play the piano.
Back off, Lex.
Get the hose. Get the hose for Lex. Clark notices a shadowy figure enter the Talon and stare intently at Lucy. It is one of the men who was chasing her in Switzerland. Clark asks Lucy who he is, but when she turns to see, he's gone.
How do you lose track, Clark?
How do you lose track, Clark? How do you, of all people, lose track?
Super speed, super hearing, X-ray vision. Like,
Clark, I'm pretty sure if you tried a little harder, you could figure that one out. That night, Clark, in parentheses here, on the sofa, awakens to see Lucy slip out of the house.
Do you think
We're officially hitting the point?
gets
What's
frustrated with Superman because like he tries to do his disappear thing and Superman's I can see you through that wall. I can see you right there.
No, gotcha. Yeah.
You're
oh wow,
here.
taking the stairs, huh? Okay.
Bruce, don't try that shit with me.
He follows her to the Talon and catches her stealing money out of the cash register. I will say around this time my daughter got fussy and I stopped paying attention for a lot of the rest of this episode.
Great.
So there were all of my thoughts. So cleaning money out of the cash register. The Talon's where you go. I mean, I guess you kind of have access to it since your sister works there. When Clark questions her, she confesses that she got there's not gonna be like a lot of money at a little coffee shop.
No, yeah, it's your $50,000. Yeah, not at the Talon.
I know it's 2005, it's a little different, but I've been working at a little game cafe. So literally a coffee shop with board and like I'm very little cash.
Yeah, wisely.
Very, very little. Enough for like some change. So when he questions her, she confesses that she got in with the wrong crowd and owes a loan shark in Europe $50,000. She complains about how she's different from all her friends and needs money to fit in.
Yeah.
Clark, is that why you borrowed $50,000 fucking dollars?
So she asked Clark if he has any idea what it's like to be an outsider. How many characters have asked Clark if he has any idea what it's like to be an outsider?
How many should just get a fucking t-shirt like, yeah, I fucking get it.
How many times do they go to this well where another character's like, do you have any idea what it's like to... And it's just, come on.
And it's the same fucking like, oh.
He's like,
more than you think.
Do. Actually, yeah, I might have some knowledge about it.
Clark feels sympathetic and tells her that he wants to help her solve the problem. He asks Chloe for help, and she learns the identity of the loan shark, Marcus Becker. They tell Lois about the situation. Sorry.
I was going to say, although to be clear, Clark feels like an outsider because he's better than everyone else on Earth.
Yeah, right.
Because he's more powerful and invulnerable than everyone else on Earth. So I don't feel too
this
bad
body,
for Clark.
This fucking jacked body didn't have to work for it at all.
No, but except for on football, I didn't cheat at football. When I played football, I didn't use my powers.
Fully legitimate. So we ask Chloe for help. They find the loan shark. They tell Lois about the situation, and Lois and Clark go to the Luthor mansion, where Lucy is demonstrating her violin skills for Lex. Lucy is angry at Clark for telling and insists that she can handle the situation herself. No, you were stealing for... You can't handle shit, Lucy. She and Lois argue about Lucy's actions until Lex diffuses the situation and gets between the sisters. Yeah, if only you were like in the house of a billionaire, like playing violin for it.
Can
like,
I borrow an amount of money that you will make just by osmosis
like,
in the next 15 seconds?
$50,000 for Lex. If he lost that, he wouldn't even know it was gone.
No, I mean the stocks probably make like he just makes that money just in the time it takes to have the conversation.
Hey, buddy, I listen to you play the fucking piano. The worst thing I could imagine doing. Can you?
Like you're trying to buy hotels in Zurich. Like you can give me the $50,000.
Clark explains the truth, and Lex agrees to help Lucy with the money, but only because Marcus Becker is one of Lex's old business adversaries.
I didn't think this was necessarily a needed element here.
Yeah, right.
It was just like an excuse. Like they're like, we need to explain why Lex is helping. He could have just been helping out a friend, you know.
He could have just been helping. In fact, in some way, I think I would buy some stuff a little more. Of like Lex has felt extremely disconnected. Yeah. So like anytime there's an element of like Lex and Clark are friends, like fucking are you?
Yeah. We need the episodes of them just playing pool. Give
Just
us
give
some
it to
cool
me.
episode.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Fuck it, make it a DVD or a web exclusive or some shit. Give me something.
That's what the cartoon should be, just in like while the show's going on, but just all the good times.
Clark and Lex start a podcast.
Wait, but they did, Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
You're blowing my mind.
Lucy sets up the transaction and tells Lex that that only she can deliver the money to an abandoned warehouse. Lex objects and insists on handing off the money. Is there a twist here? Because that don't make no sense. The guy just wants their fucking money. Maybe a twist is coming. Can't wait to find out.
There might be a twist. Yeah.
Lex, Lois, and Lucy all pile into one of Lex's sports cars to make the exchange. However, they get pulled over, and when the police officer insists Lex get out of the car, he is revealed to be Marcus Becker. He pistol whips Lex after he hands over the cash. Lois tries to defend him, and he turns the gun on her. Becker forces Lucy and Lois into Lex's car, leaving Lex on the pavement. Oh, was the whole time wrong? Concussion.
Lex concussion.
Oh, buddy, he can't take that many more of these.
Concussion. Let me get the paper.
Yes. Getting the paper. Zach has gotten up from his chair and he's heading to the wall. He's getting the paper where we keep track of dumb Smallville stuff.
Lex has now suffered his third concussion of this season.
Wow.
And his, hold on, 11th overall. Brian, my hope is that we get to 20 by the end of the series.
Yeah, I think I've done this on the show before because it's sounding familiar. But how many concussions has Johnny Knoxville had?
I think we did do this. I think he's not quite caught up to Johnny Knoxville yet. And that's the
16.
goal.
16.
He's coming up hot. He's got to get to 16 by the end.
Gotta. And it should be noted, I'm sure, like I said, I know we talked about this before, but Johnny Knoxville has been told by his doctor, and he had to calm down on Jackass 4 because if he gets it, he can't get another concussion.
Right, yeah, you're done.
You're done.
And Lex has gotten 2 within like hours before, so
right.
According to your brother, that's the real scary ones.
Yes. So Clark super speeds to the warehouse to discover that the exchange was the twist. The exchange was staged. He realizes that Lucy was lying all along and locates Lex. At the same time, Lucy and Lois and Lex's car are in the back of an 18-wheeler being driven by Becker. During an exchange with him, Lois notices that Lucy is on very friendly terms with him and also realizes that Lucy staged the whole thing.
Oh, the wiki is just trying to brush past the worst part of this episode and some of the
I don't remember what it is.
Dumbest things in Smallville.
Oh, like, baby.
That was a conscious decision by the wiki not to get into it. I'm telling you right now.
What did blow my mind? I virtually practically didn't watch this whole scene.
Lucy and Lois are in the back of this.
I saw them getting jostled around. Yeah.
Yes. And their captor, they pulls over to the side of the room. It's daytime now, so they've been in there a while. He comes in to have a little dialogue with them, and then is like, here's this food. He gives them a bag of food. Burgers. As he's walking away, leaving, he says, the one with the sticker on it is no tomatoes. And then leaves. And then Lois turns to the camera. This is the dramatic act break and goes, how did he know you don't like tomato?
Whoa.
So this guy they're trying to pull a con, and he gets them food and has to get her no tomatoes, and then make sure to tell her that one has no tomatoes in front of her sister.
Whoa.
It's so convoluted and terrible. It's just the laziest.
That's unforgivable.
That's the ultimate, like, it's 8 p.m. We got to go home. It's bad. It's bad.
That's the kind of thing you get there on the shooting day and they read the line and like, oh fuck, did we not change that?
Yeah, I think you should watch it just for
Yeah,
that.
I'm going back, baby. But not back, baby.
No, I wish we were going back, baby.
Lois is angry and hurt over Lucy's choices, and they have an intense argument over their fractured childhoods. Lois thinks Lucy is throwing away a promising future, but Lucy resents Lois because she got their father's attention. Back at the mansion, Clark and Lex try to decide what to do. When Becker calls demanding ransom, Clark superhears the name of the road on which they are traveling and goes to apprehend Becker. He waits on an overpass and jumps onto the top of the truck. Getting inside the cab, he knocks Becker unconscious and pulls the truck over to safety. When Lex and the police arrive shortly afterward, Clark zips away unseen.
We get some cool stunt work there, some actual stunt work.
Yes,
some good stuff to watch. So I'm sure you didn't notice this, but
no, probably not.
Lex gets knocked out when Lois and Lucy get kidnapped. Clark goes to the place where the meeting was supposed to be, finds out it was a trick, goes to find Lex. Then we cut to Lucy and Lois the next day in the truck, that whole scene. And then we cut to the Luthor mansion. It's the next day. Lex is in there. Clark storms in and he's like, it was all a ruse. I found the warehouse. He found the warehouse last night before he found Lex.
Oh.
Did Lex just not regain consciousness all night? Just like, so Clark just dropped him off at the mansion, let him sleep. And then went home and then came back and was like, hey, now that it's morning, let's have this conversation.
Lex was still like a little glossy-eyed, still slurring his speech a little bit, and Clark realized his chance for like a do-over. Like, I don't think I was dramatic enough in my reveal. So I get the do-over, baby. Let's go again.
They had that whole conversation last night.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm just going to really go for it. Oh my God.
Clark gets a text in the morning like, yo, you want to come over and play Xbox? He doesn't remember.
How do you know? How did he know you don't like tomatoes, Brian?
It was the tomatoes thing.
Concussion. They knock out the bad guy.
I gotta say, how do you feel about tomatoes on a sandwich?
I like tomatoes on a sandwich or a burger. I do.
Okay. I don't like tomatoes is wrong. I like a tomato just fine. I'm like, tomatoes, yucky. Don't like them on a sandwich. I think they change the texture too much.
It has to be a good tomato. It has to be you know. And I like the way it goes with the mayonnaise. If it's a sandwich or a burger with mayonnaise, then I'm on board. If you're not putting mayonnaise on it, then don't bother with tomato.
My thing with tomatoes, it's a little like me in any social situation where like, we get it. You're here. You can fucking relax. I'm just busting in like, I want attention. That's a tomato. I see too much of myself in it.
Tomatoes are such a tension horse. Yeah.
I'm here for like the turkey and the lettuce and the mayo. And I don't tomato. I acknowledge that you're here. You don't have to get your fucking taste on anything. Just bouncing fucking conversation to conversation. Just like, I'm here too, by the way. Fuck off.
That is a blazing hot take, and I'm here for it.
There we go.
I love it.
Lex attempts to have Lucy turned over to the authorities, but she escapes in his car. Lex goes to the Kent farm to inform Clark that they later found the car, but not the money, and Lucy is nowhere to be found. Once again, this is like $50,000. Is that it?
Right, yeah.
Lex could don't get me wrong, you don't just want to be like a target, but like Lex can like put some people on this, right? This could be
he has a security team.
Right. Tell me when this is handled, right?
Right. He uses the security team, but also he leads the charge with his gun. Did you notice that? The billionaire is like, I have the security team, but I want to lead the charge.
This is, to be clear, an assistant leaning over during a meeting about a completely different thing. Go, oh, by the way, the $50,000 thing is handled. Oh, good. Great.
Yeah, it should be. But
he should be breaking no sweat over this.
I think he is that way with most stuff, but not when it comes to high schoolers. Then he's got to be really hands-on.
Of course.
When it comes to high school stuff. He definitely didn't like tell his assistant to get the blown up picture of Clark. That's something he did himself.
You're right. You're right. That was all.
He did not delegate
Lex,
that. He did not delegate that to anyone.
Did he start the drafted email before going like, ooh, backspace? Maybe this is a job for
photos
Lex.
for me. And they're like, which photos? And he's like, never mind. I changed my mind. I'm not going to blow up any photos. Definitely not of a teenage boy that I'm obsessed with.
No. Goes to the coffee shop with a little mustache on. My friend wants a giant picture of this high school boy.
This is my son. This is a picture of my son.
Now give me a giant picture of my son. Is that our first t-shirt? Just a t-shirt that just says, give me a giant picture of my son. No branding, no the Talon Mix, no website to find us. Just give me a giant picture.
It's got to be the picture.
Yes.
Can someone who's good at art draw a picture of Lex in that room, just standing there staring at the picture?
Please, we beg of you. We beg of you.
That will be our logo, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
That should be the Talkville logo.
That should be the Talkville. No. Dibs.
I can't wait till they get to this episode on Talkville. This is the one we're calling in for, and we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go on the picture. We're just gonna go.
Yes.
Clear out.
I want every single detail. We haven't called Talkville in a while. Maybe we do that on the show again.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah. I don't know where they're at in Talkville, but
they're on season 2, halfway through, I think.
Okay, all right. Yo, we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
So Clark feels bad. Oh, wait. Let's see. Do. They found the car. No money, and Lucy is nowhere to be found. Clark feels bad that Lois and Lucy's relationship is so damaged, and says he wishes they got along. He and Lex talk about siblings, and Lex tells Clark that he sees him as a brother. All right. Maybe in season 1 I bought that.
Yeah, he says, you're more of a brother. You're closer to me than any blood brother.
Yeah, all right.
That was before the
later
picture.
At school. Yeah, right.
Before I found out about the picture. Now we're on okay terms.
How big is your picture of Lucas, Lex?
Oh.
Later at school, Clark tells Chloe that Lois is taking Lucy's disappearance hard. Chloe confirms that Lucy's betrayal would be extremely upsetting because Lois has always been fiercely protective of her. Back at the Luthor mansion, Lionel tells Lex that Jason accused him of stealing the stone. Lionel thinks that Lex stole it, but Lex is shocked that Jason had the stone in the first place. It is revealed that it is Lana is the one who stole the stone.
This is the first
later. Yes, Zach.
Lex Lionel scene we've had in a minute, and I wrote down, why do they have any scenes without these two together? Seriously,
they should be in all scenes.
No one on this show has better chemistry than these two. It's so good.
No, seriously.
It's so good. What does he say?
And once again,
if you want to play games, there's a deck of cards in the parlor room. And then the Lionel's like, they're very stupid. So good.
We've expressed this sentiment before, but I think John Glover makes Michael Rosenbaum better.
Yes,
100%. I think he brings out the best in Rosenbaum.
Oh yeah.
And you get to see Rosenbaum's full potential when he's going up against Glover, and it's really, really good every time, even in a stupid episode where they're saying stupid things.
And you can tell they're having fun. That's the best part.
Definitely, always. Okay, so later, Clark finds Lois in the loft using Clark's telescope. Lois opens up to Clark, saying she had to tell her father the whole story, and he predictably blamed her for Lucy's behavior. Clark assures her that she is a good big sister, and maybe Lucy isn't all bad. They admit to being friends, and Lois playfully punches Clark in the arm and leaves. Clark then looks up at the sky through the telescope, revealing that his vision is certainly more powerful than the humans, as he sees details Lois does not. He watches as two stars collide with each other.
Wait, is that what that was supposed to be?
I was unclear of like, is this supposed to be like important? Because it's under like a sappy like needle drop, right?
I thought it was just like Smallville exaggerating how powerful a telescope is. Was what the vibe I got. I didn't realize it was supposed to be his.
Oh, I also assumed it was a telescope, but
yeah,
because Clark uses his fucking telescope.
Yeah,
And Wiki, I think you misread that one.
Great.
Why would he have a telescope then?
It wouldn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. No, it just doesn't.
Don't make no sense.
Great little Lois Clark scene. I love their little, we actually kind of like each other moments.
Yeah.
Although Clark must do
they got chemistry, man. It works.
Oh, they really do. Clark must do the same thing he did when he was playing football whenever Lois punches him.
Yeah.
She doesn't break her fist.
Right. Let's see. We had some featured music this episode. We have Club Foot by Kasabian. I Hold On by Newcomer's Home. Spaghetti Streetwalker by Speechwriters LLC. Some fucking Brahm shit. It's fucking class. That was the violin piano shit. Garbage music. Get it out of here. Get it out of my needle drops. It's also not a needle drop because it happened diegetically.
Yep.
And then Fly by Mark Joseph. I haven't heard any of these fucking songs. None of this shit. It all, don't get me wrong, sounds like Smallville music, but
I mean, I felt like the needle drop at the end with Lois, whatever that was fitting.
Yeah. Okay, we have here in the notes, when Clark and Lex talk about siblings, and Lex mentioned that he wished he had a brother, he seemingly has forgot about his half-brother, Lucas Luthor. However, he does mention that Clark being closer than any blood brother could be. This is funny. Dana Devon, the Talon customer who guest starred on this show, was the host of Extra that was going behind the scenes of the series through this episode. So I looked on YouTube for this episode of Extra. I couldn't find it. I found a previous one from earlier in the show. But
Extra.
looks really hard. Extra. Couldn't find it. Let's see here. Actress Peyton List. This was Lucy. This is her first time portraying a DC Comics character. She later played Lisa Snart on The Flash. Again, the daughter of Michael Ironside.
Whoa.
That's funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah. She also portrayed Poison Ivy on the Fox show Gotham.
Oh.
Let's see here. Peter Wingfield, who was Marcus Becker. He also played Dr. Ivan Slavicki in the 2004 film Catwoman.
Ooh.
I've never seen Catwoman, but
Me
oh boy.
Me
no one has anything good to say about that movie.
Here's the thing. Catwoman came out at a time when I feel like I was starved for Batman content. And I didn't go see it.
Right.
I was like, no,
right.
Thank you.
Right. The fact that nothing about Catwoman, like, nope, that movie's not for me.
No. I mean, it was originally supposed to be Michelle Pfeiffer, and that would have been something I would have seen. I don't know if it would have been much better, but
Right. Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, here we go. We got a stretch. We got a stretch of the episode. The name of the club Becker works for in Switzerland is Club Kronos. Wingfield played the 5,000-year-old immortal Mythos in the Highlander TV series. Mythos had an immortal brother named Kronos?
I don't think so. No.
Nope. They just picked a comic booky word there.
Yeah. Because if they were going to do that, they would have just called it Minos.
Right. No, we'll reference this fucking. I love this fucking blast here. It is visually obvious that the actress who plays Lucy does not play the violin. Whoa!
Visually obvious. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. This isn't easy.
Damn, Wiki, damn.
Visually obvious. What does that mean?
The road sign visible from the overpass on which Clark situates himself to find the semi holding Lois and Lucy indicates an exit for U.S. Highway 54 to Cherry Hill. U.S. Highway 54 does indeed run through Kansas, though there is no township of Cherry Hill. Also visible in the background are snow-capped mountains, which would be improbable unless Becker had driven the semi so far west they'd crossed into Colorado. The scene was, of course, filmed near Vancouver, British Columbia. There is no township of Cherry Hill in Colorado or British Columbia either. If we ever wanted to, I did skim past this, and I'm like, okay, a fun mystery we could dive into that maybe there's an answer to, maybe there isn't. Could we find out? Someone made the choice to put Cherry Hill on that sign. Why?
Yeah.
Was it just, and the answer, it might just be, that was my hometown. I thought that'd be fun to throw that on there.
Right.
It might just be, it's the first fucking name I thought of.
Right, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But
this is a question
I'd be interested.
for
I don't think Talkville would know. I think we'd have to be investigators on this one. I think we'd have to reach out, see who we could get and talk to. Literally about this. Sorry, what was the question again? Yo, in this one episode, it's a Cherry Hill. Why?
This is too big for Talkville.
Talkville can't handle this. I guess that's everything. I do want to say I'm very excited for next week. Not because I remember the episode at all, but the thumbnail on Hulu has Lex in the coolest green glasses I've ever seen. It's like straight out of a 90s cyberpunk.
Yes. What is it called?
Onyx.
Oh, it's the one where Lex splits into two, good Lex and evil Lex.
I'm sorry. How do I not remember this fucking episode?
Yep. That's 100%
oh my
what
God.
it is. Yeah. I mean, one of those Lexes has to get concussed at some point.
Oh my God. I'm so excited for next week.
It's going to be good. How could that be bad?
That it can't be. Everybody, thanks for listening to the Talon Mix. We'll be back next week. Hey, if you're so inclined, we have a Patreon. We don't expect anybody to do that, but if you do, we got some bonus shows. We got to record some bonus shows, Zach. And let's see, in the description, we also have a link to our Discord. The Discord's the best place to come say hello. We're not scary. Or are we? I don't know. Maybe you don't have to be a real cool guy to go into the Discord.
No.
You have to be to listen to the show. But the Discord's open to all.
Discord's for losers. Wait, no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. I think that's everything. Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods?
Smallville gods, will the episode with the giant picture of Clark be the first one where they air one of our questions on Talkville?
Good night, everybody.